entire experience on AI, and everything that we're seeing is digital. It's actually quite meaningful because today a lot of our experiences are digital, like we are connecting right now on a digital mat. So it really makes you think on whether you really need to go from digital to physical, or you can experience things digitally, and it's a good enough way to get a glimpse of something before you actually want to go physical. So thank you very much for that. Barbara, we'd request you to stop screen share so that we can introduce the next speaker. So next we have Sander Wienoff coming on. Sander, you can unmute if you're comfortable. I've seen some of the work you've done on LinkedIn. It's pretty amazing. I've seen some of the real-time AI stuff you've done with some Snapchat filters. Big fan of your work, and I think you're here to present a speech on wearing virtual fashion for real. So you have the floor now. 5 minutes early. If you're comfortable, you can go ahead and screen share.
Yes, let's do that. I will share my keynote presentation. Thanks for the introduction, and I will. By the way, I was also this moment present in the viewing area. I'm walking around there, but there I'm going to quit just to avoid hearing myself
we'll
double.
End up with an echo. We get sound from two sources. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, so I'll do that. And now I'm in the Zoom. I'm going to share my keynote, which is here. It contains a lot of small little clips, and I've collected a number of occasions during my my explorations from the, let's say, past 10 years, which were related to digital fashion. I'm gonna play this slideshow. Wearing virtual fashion for real. That's what really fascinated me after first being a Second Life resident for quite a while. I've had a wonderful time there. This is me in some manifestation. I have first looked differently and at times, but this is me. I love Second Life. It was really a great time to be there with a lot of friends and amazing parties. There's a lot of fun stuff going on. So being back now in spatial, it reminded me of the good times I had in Second Life and the fun we had building and constructing interactive installations and things like that. Unfortunately, the world of Second Life is now really desolated. There's not much activity going on anymore. It's empty. And actually for me, the time of Second Life ended when in the Netherlands, there was a mobile app called Layar. It was the first mobile augmented reality app. That happened in around 2009. So at that moment, I sort of stepped out of the virtual world, being an avatar. And for me, the explorations in augmented reality started happening. So this is me, little looking back at the I Love SL Second Life shirt, but then the augmented reality version there. Created in Snapchat. In the past few years, I've been using the Snap AR technology, which is amazing, especially if you're working with fashion, clothing, materials like that. But besides that, the way headsets and glasses, that has really fascinated me quite a lot. Just holding up a phone and seeing a preview of let's say a future augmented city, that's one thing. But the real thing is wearing a device and having your hands free to do whatever, to interact with other things in the physical world, to really be in a sort of an immersive mixed reality. That's quite amazing. So far, these glasses have not been perfect. I mean, the HoloLens had this tiny area. Nowadays, I think and I think one day it will, but no, it's not. So for me, the HoloLens was a lot of fun at the time. And if I look at the reality today, I see so many people totally absorbed in the feed of their smartphone, and I think it would be so much more fun if this would be like your day-to-day reality, all of us wearing AR glasses, and for example, during your commute to work, between one station and the other, you could play a game together, you could do something. And I personally, I'm already exploring this because I'm not a big fan of doom scrolling on social media. Game where objects could move up the escalator and down again. But yeah, as I said, there's not many people yet wearing these devices. But I am, and especially in public spaces, there are some things to consider. For example, what happens when other people are there and they're in your image. We were talking about digital fashion, but that means that if you look around, people in front of you could be wearing something, but what are they wearing? I'm just giving them an outfit to wear. You know, when I'm standing somewhere waiting for a bus, people in front of me can perform the triage ballet. So I model these 3D outfits. First, it's a question whether this is acceptable. I'm making them anonymous, so I think it's fine. But still, there's a certain boundary when, to what extent it not. It is next example. When this is an experiment with creating digital fashion with just a hand gesture, and this is fine to do, I think, with somebody you know, and this might be different when it's somebody you don't know, or maybe this is perhaps something that is fine when it's done by an official, let's say, digital designer. It was an experiment during Fashion Week in 2017. We created a HoloLens app that could help designers to make an outfit created with little digitized pieces of leftover fabrics. And of course, at that time, the fabrics were not that great. They were not moving. They were not realistic. But still, it was a fun experiment, and it also made me think of another, actually a problem when you're dealing with digital fashion. You can never see what you're wearing, which is actually quite sad. You're having this beautiful outfit, and you can't see yourself except when you're looking into a mirror. So I think it makes sense to have more digital, not even digital mirrors, real mirrors in public space, because this is not about a digital piece of clothing once and then never looking at it again. So maybe when you're on the go, it would be fun to sometimes have a peek at how you're doing. So for example, in Amsterdam, there's this public mirror near the big museum area in the center. So I created this version of the app that allowed me to swipe through some ornaments I was wearing. Abstract fashion, but I'm not a true fashion designer. I'm just exploring the possibilities here. And the swiping thing was really, really fun to do. And I think an interesting concept for, let's say, our future when you quickly want to dress into another outfit if you're going to the next meeting. That does bring up, once again, this issue. What happens when you're meeting other people that are wearing something but you don't know what? So I was thinking of some solutions there, and I came up with this one. So let's say in the future you meet somebody, you first do this little gesture or little dance to specify a certain code, and perhaps these codes could be defined locally. So if you have the right code, and you could attach your own outfit or a specification of an outfit there, and somebody else watching you could decipher the code, grab the locally available data about the outfit, and then activate the right clothing on you. So it's you that decides what other people can see. Maybe there could be perhaps a technical solution too, but then you have these hardware manufacturers that need to collaborate. I don't know if they are going to do that. So if that's not going to happen, this could be the do-it-yourself approach. And also, if you're wearing these very expensive digital fashion, maybe you want to protect it with a PIN code. This could also be a way to communicate to somebody that you're wearing something. Yeah, there we go. So this could be the solution to indicate what you're wearing to someone you're meeting. There's one more. Yep. Yeah. So people with different devices from different manufacturers could be using these solutions, but actually it does not seem to go that way. We have, I think everybody was really waiting for the Apple moment. Okay, if they're going to bring augmented reality glasses on the market, that would really tell us what these devices could do and where they can be used. And actually they're focused very much on being at home, which is a pity. I think AR in the real world is fun. You need a different device to do that, not this so much. But let's hope they will be launching their lightweight version soon. I hope so. And I think they will, because it is going to be a huge market. If you think of having a device on somebody's head, defining what you see and what you not see if you don't pay for it, it's a huge commercial market. Especially if AI is also involved, analyzing what you see, understanding what you're encountering, what you should do. It's a huge amount of services and features that come into play here, all with let's say a monthly fee. I think it's a huge business opportunity there. So I guess we'll see many more attempts of getting traction with AR devices, AR wearables in the near future. But still, it's about who owns the thing, and if you own something really fun and amazing, if you can't see it, that's a pity. So I've also developed this one. This is a shared outfit, and you can buy one piece, and then everybody that's wearing this outfit, you can just copy it. Everybody can use it. So you can just own one piece of this outfit and then change the shape. Not the shape, the texture. And everybody around the world wearing the same outfit could, will have the same texture as well there. So it can be great for advertising, and you can see the outfit you are wearing because you're seeing other people wearing the same outfit. It's a way to also solve this problem. It's looking, of course, not that smooth yet, a bit like cubes. I've been stress testing the technology as well, some old footage. And this cube thing, maybe it's also because I'm a bit stubborn. I think, why should I be making digital fashion that really fits me? I mean, there's no real need to fit. Physical clothing need to fit, but digital clothing, it doesn't really need to fit. So this little experiment shows that you can just go back to the bare necessities. You can have a sleeve if you want to, but there's actually no need for that. So this expandable sleeve option, it might not look like real fashion, but why should it? Here, another sort of sleeveless item, which is not only about buying fashion. I think everybody can be a designer. We're just making these movements. it's the fabrics in Lens Studio that make this this possible. Yeah, when I'm working on stuff, I always explore without really knowing where it's going. So I also wanted to make an outfit you can wear together. So this is a duo outfit. And yeah, there's also this interactive effect. It changes color when you're close together. So it's a great outfit to wear when you're dancing tango. Not that you know that something is happening to you, but if you have a screen projection, you can see yourself wearing it. So yeah, going less, more abstract. That has been the typical fabrics looking like your fabrics. Why can't you just create this weird outfit consisting of lines? And I must admit that from the fashion community, there has never ever been any interest, except for now, this moment that I was asked to present some of these things in the Metaverse Fashion Conference. So I'm really happy about it, to show some of these works. There's another example of automatic creation of a dress. So these scripts that I created them in Lens Studio. You have to put in your camera and do the right movements. There's some sounds, so you know what is going on, because you're not controlling the thing, and you're not standing in front of a big magic mirror. I mean, I don't have one that is big enough. You don't have them with you all the time, but just positioning your phone and then standing in front of the phone and hearing the sounds, knowing what you should do can help. Yeah, perfect. Instead of creating your own digital fashion, it's also easy to just steal it. I created the copy-paste shirt by just standing next to somebody with your digital copy shirt. You can automatically copy some clothing from somebody. And those people actually, I think they did not really know what was going on. I mean, it's still not something that's quite common to be wearing digital fashion, and I wish it would. And still, you have this problem that what you're wearing, you don't see it yourself. So it's fun if more and more people would wear it. For example, this is the last example. This would be a great shirt if many people, for example, during your morning walk, would wear this. This is an interactive shirt that detects your movement and then visualizes it in an interactive way on the shirt. And with t-shirts, I think that this is how t-shirts have always been used. I mean, they're communicating a message to other people. I mean, you're almost like a walking billboard. It's fun for other people to watch something there. In this case, it's an interactive thing. You can maybe play a game. But yeah, this is one of my last interactive fashion things, and then I just gave up with fashion, doing other things. But let's see. Maybe one day I will continue if I'm getting some more inspiration on this during this conference. So I'd like to leave it with that, and I hope it has been interesting to see some of these experiments. And I wish more people will be wearing virtual fashion for real, because that will be a lot of fun also for me. So thanks a lot for your attention.
Thank you, Sander. I think some of that work we've seen in the past, and I think appreciate everything. And I think just to make light of it, I think one needs to be a bit careful when looking at themselves, while seeing how the map evolves as you walk. You shouldn't end up falling down somewhere. But all good stuff. More use cases. You made you think about the case of unlocking NFTs with a pin, copying real content the way he's done it with that lens. So I think really makes you want to think this digital fashion really needs to fit the way we think physical fashion fits. So thank you for that, Sander.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yes.
We still have a little time, so in case you have more to present, you can go ahead. But if you want to conclude here, that's perfectly fine as well. You're on mute.
Yeah, I think I can leave it like this here, and I will jump into the spatial environment, so I can be there and.
Sounds good. Perfect. Thank you for that amazing presentation, Sander. How would one get in touch with you? Would you have like is LinkedIn the best way to get in touch with you? Do you leave on?
LinkedIn it's more the serious stuff. I think Instagram is really the platform I like most, with all the like temporary and in between results I'm posting there. So that's standard theme of right there.
So you heard that right. So if you want to get in touch with him, Instagram is the way to go. You should perhaps search for his handle. And I don't know if we have Yanni with us, who's the next speaker, but I would want to introduce Yanni, who's the next speaker, who's focusing on virtual fit and really about the key aspect of redefining fit to reduce waste. I think it's such an important thing that Barbara spoke about as well. The waste is something that we almost forget about. It's such an important part of our responsibility, and he focuses on the China market entry strategy as well as the creative strategy. He's also the creative head for Pom Pom and the founder of Sampom. He can tell you more about that when he joins. And he's the co-founder for Nuva Tech. His workshop's going to be about the importance of being body inclusive in the digital landscape. And we're going to wait a couple of minutes because we have a little time for him to officially join. Meanwhile, we've had some great talks. We've had Barbara speak to us about her book, Lyria, if I'm not wrong. She also gave us an amazing video, which is completely made in AI, which talked about the life cycle of a garment, both physical, and made you want to think that if it's just for a fad or just for a try on or just for giving something a try, is it really worth it to buy something physically and then have it sent back, which will probably eventually land up in the landfill? So, she kind of made each one of us think about the responsible need for try-ons and digital try-ons and digital fashion. And even if it doesn't immediately make sense for fashion brands and unit economics, I think it's the right thing to do, because even if it doesn't produce returns from the fit perspective, it can certainly returns, which is so important, especially in the case of the fashion industry and the styling industry that we have today. While we wait for Yanni to join, I thought I'll speak a little bit about myself as well. My name is Aditya Mani. I'm the founder of Yologram Style. We're a digital fashion app where we kind of mix the worlds of both e-commerce as well as fashion, as well as gaming. So what we do is we don't just stop at try-ons. So you start by taking a photograph of yourself. You create a somewhat similar, digital avatar which has some likeness to yourself, and based on that, you put on this branded fashion on yourself for the purpose of try-on. So we have a complete digital wardrobe with real-life digital brands, with real-life digital garments which are digitized, which you can see on yourself. Spawn yourself in AR, create all these AR experiences, and we have a host of AR experiences that you can break into. One of them, of course, is you can choose to have a live call with someone, so you could have a real-time experience where two friends can see each other either in a 3D space or in their augmented reality in their own homes. But you can launch your friend in your space. That's what we call live calling. We also have a pulse feature, which is really about creating, giving a pulse to your digital identity. So, we enable you to train your digital avatar to speak like you. You feed it to your social credentials, or you could use it for a brand. So brands typically want, say, their influencers or the brand ambassadors or their senior executives to be present at different kinds of events or different kinds of places. So you can transport the avatar of that senior executive, and then they can speak, on brand, completely on brand. So the way they're trained is the way we feed in information. So that's what we call Pulse, which is our digital avatar solution, which could either be a full screen solution, it could be a VR solution, depending on what kind of activations the brand wants to do, and it's completely trained on the way you do the training for the LLM. All of this is in real time. It's a voice interface where you can talk to the brand ambassador. Then we have experiences such as immersing yourself inside games. So it's one click, and then we go into these various games. So we had the India Game Show last year in 2024, where everyone came up to the booth, they photographed themselves, dressed themselves up in their favorite fashion, and they were in a street style running game, which is very similar to Subway Surfers, and they really enjoyed the game, playing with it. This year we had a two-player experience, which again gave, we collaborated with a streetwear brand, and we got the streetwear clothing physically present at the booth, and consumers could come, create avatars of themselves, dress themselves up in that streetwear brand, and go into a street fight. We created a Street Fighter game, Slash, where it was controller based. People would have fun. It was a button smash game. More than that, it was so immersive to see yourself in it, to see yourself getting beaten up, or to see yourself attacking the other person. So it just gave that level of immersion, which helped connect better with your avatar. And then, of course, we've got other, we've got the typical use cases like, sharing content to social media, creating visuals for fashion shows. We recently did a fashion show in the Middle East where the physical model was walking, wearing the brand's clothing. So the brand was a brand called Not So Serious by an Indian designer called Pallavi Mohan, and the physical models were wearing this clothing while the storytelling and the digital models were present in the background on the big screen. So rather than just having abstract content showing up on the big screen, we actually had the entire storytelling done in such a way which is not distracting, which is not taking you away from what the brand wants you to see on the physical model, but at the same time complementing the entire experience. So that's a little bit about our application. It's called Hologram. We're really trying to merge the world of gaming with the world of e-commerce. I know that's a large statement to me, but we believe there are a lot of people who are, it's not just that the social media shoppers or the e-commerce shoppers do not enjoy and experience gaming. And it's not that the gamers out there do not interact with e-commerce and they do not interact with social media. So we said, why can't these worlds coincide? And why can't you have an experience where go to an app, share something on social media, and use that same avatar or version of yourself and walk into a game? So that's what we're building. Hopefully, if we do get a chance, I would like to showcase what we're doing on on this platform that we have, which is the wonderful Fashion Metaverse Conference, where Isola has given us all a great chance to speak, and we do plan to present this next Friday on 21st. Hopefully, we do get and would. Isola, do we have the next, or do we should?
Forrest, to Simon, just want to remind you that the Aura, the Eagle Aura, is available for a gift, and that will be you will be able to pick it up at Aero02 and put it in your backpack. You will find it in your profile, in your items, in the Aura section. So everybody can jump in after the event to the iRule and pick up that aura.
And we're very much. Hello, Yanni. Was to the space we have in spatial. So, are you comfortable to screen share right now, or do you still need a couple of minutes?
No, I can screen share right now. Just let me share it. Yeah, let's try it. Let's test it first. Do you guys see the screen?
Sounds good. So, once again, everyone, we have Yanni Jansen with us, the virtual fit tech specialist. She's focusing on redefining fit more from a perspective of reducing waste. She focuses on China market entry and creative strategy, creative head for Pom and Sampom, and she's the co-founder for Novatech. And Yanni, you have the floor. I'm going to cut my video. Please go ahead and present.
Okay, thank you, Aditya, for this wonderful introduction. And I'd also like to thank Isola and the Metaverse Fashion Conference for hosting this. And I'm really excited today to talk about body inclusivity in the digital landscape. I do think it's a topic that's a bit underestimated today. And before I start, I know that most of you guys are on mute, but you can also ask yourself this, when we talk about body inclusivity and we shop, I have 3 questions I'd like to ask you before starting this is, have you ever tried on clothes in your own usual size, but only to realize that they don't fit because every brand sizes differently? The second question is, how many times have you loved an item online, but you hesitated to buy it really because you weren't sure if it would fit your actual body shape, right? And the third question before we start is, who here has felt like fashion was just, not made for their own body type? So I do believe that some of you guys might have been able to relate to some of these problems, especially for non-standardized fits. But today with the technology and all the brands out there and the media, and why is fashion still selling with weight? Why is this? And I think it's really also going back to look a bit about the history and the evolution of where we came from. It's really from dictating the beauty standards with brands to embracing slowly diversity. I mean, historically, which is only, 15 to 25 years ago, fashion would dictate. Fashion brands set rigid beauty standards, think of even the Devil Wears Prada, and you'd go to all of these exclusive models and idealized campaigns focused on that. And consumers then felt pressure to conform rather than they felt pressure to conform rather than brands catering to real bodies. Slowly in 2016, 17, there created a cultural mindset shift, the rise of, body positivity and inclusivity movements, consumers finally evolving and demanding authentic representations of themselves and seeking for products that fit them and not that they need to fit into. That resulted in brands actually facing major backlashes, not only for limited sizing ranges, but also unrealistic imagery. And one of the most notorious ones was Victoria's Secret's, where they launched the perfect body campaign of you have to be merged into this perfect fit. And in 2018, the Victoria's Secret show plummeted with the lowest ratings and views ever, with only 3.3 million compared to 12 million in its previous years. And one of the key reasons is that the CMO officially stated, we're never going to have transgendered or plus size models or LGBTQ because that's really not part of our fantasy. Now, this is really a proof that narrow beauty ideals don't work anymore. Engagement today does equal revenue. Who is doing this though? Who is more of a pioneer in these industry standards, new industry standards? We see that pioneers, for example, like Savage and Fenty are doing this. Their slogan is sexy for everyone. So they're having different sizing representation. They started with offering sizes from XS to 4XL for lingerie. They're also some of the first to showcase real community-led campaigns with real bodies, casting models with disabilities, plus size, LGBTQ, and various ethnicities and skin colors. This led to a marketing based on inclusivity, ditching unrealistic body standards and focusing on self-confidence and self-expression. The runway show also was a reflection of this, like bold, unapologetic, and also remaining true to Rihanna's key persona and her values. The impact is that today this brand is one of the fastest growing lingerie in the US and also the world, with over $1 billion in valuation. It also positively paved the way for size inclusive and body positive brands. Another one that led this right after is the Skims approach. Their slogan is fashion for everybody, and they're focusing more on a diverse body shape and comfort. They are using realistic model and looking for a huge range of size expansion, going from XXSS to a 4XXL. And the marketing emphasizes fit for all rather than having this aspirational ideal. And today the impact is it has a valuation of $4 billion. This really proves demand for body first fashion, and that other brands are really forced to rebrand and to follow. For example, Victoria's Secret and Zara's expansion of sizing cases. We're also seeing body inclusivity appear more important in all areas and different assets. For example, gaming. We are forecasting to see more plus sizes in games for this year, 2025, represented. So we can agree maybe that body inclusivity is not a trend, but it's really a new industry standard. But why is this still struggling? Why are we still struggling? Inclusivity is the trend, but now diverse challenges are also coming. Even if we think about fit, 75% of returns are due to the actual wrong fit or size. How does that translate from an economic point of view? Well, it leads to a $165 billion fit problem in 2024, and it's forecasted to increase. So we can consider it from two aspects. Let's look at it from the consumer's challenge. I mean, looking at non-standard body types, but the average also consumer in general. First, the accessibility in retail. This is a huge effect. Retailer, it's only online, limited retail space, or it can be due to their branding / perception of how they want to be seen. Nevertheless, it's forcing these types of customers to shop digitally without trying it on. This then turns to the they then turn to the internet for more options, which leads to even more returns created for brands. The average return cost for brands is usually anywhere from 6 to 10 euros. This can really accumulate if we stack up everything. The average estimated return rate is 40%, 35 to 40%, but this actually increases by 15 to 20% for non-standard fit size, and it's even higher when we talk about dresses and jeans category. The second one is the different sizing options, parts available. This is so messy. I mean, diverse size per brand, per region, per manufacturers, it's all different. And even within the same brand, you can have sizing charts because the factories are different across the countries. So inconsistent sizing across brands, the online shopping confusing, and it does increase the return rate. What about the brand challenges though? I do believe that brands do want to be more body inclusive, but there are major challenges, especially today, for them to do this. Let's look at it from the economic barriers to scaling the body inclusivity. For example, higher cost does equal higher pricing. Inclusivity requires, or inclusive sizes requires more SKUs because they need to also account to more diverse proportions and bodies and the size. They lead to more inventory, which leads to more research and development, and usually small and inclusive offerings due to low margin, but also that from the supply chain model, most legacy factories can accommodate diverse sizing. They had to accommodate diverse sizing, like I said previously, often have higher return rates, making retailers much more hesitant to expand. And business, especially last year and this year, is very. I see this even through what happened this year during Fashion Week. Opportunities for plus size models in fashion are disappearing at an alarming rate. During the spring summer 2020, there were around 86 plus size models walking the runway in all major four cities. That was accounted by 2.8% of all the models. This year, it led to 0.8% only. And this is also because fashion is going back maybe to a more conservative and safe approach given the current times. So my question is, can technology really be a game changer? Or how can virtual try-ons enhance the experience for both consumers and the brands? This is really the question that I've been having since, probably a decade now. And I think the mission is also going that, I'm petite, so I'm around 150 centimeters, and my parents are also having this problem since I'm young. So when they're trying to shop offline or online. So my vision or my mission is how to break that standardization. How can people embrace their shape and not wearing more, but wearing so much better? And for us, we built this company, Nuva, to have that single purpose in mind, rewiring the fashion industry and really digitally crafting its very core, going back to us, going back to the people and how we can help each other through sizing. But in order to do this, transform chain with AI and virtual try-on is the core because they are the source of what everything else can create as a ripple effect. So for those who are not familiar with supply chain, very, very briefly, the traditional model is usually very linear in production cycle, anywhere between 24 to 40 months. I mean, so much can happen also during this time frame, trends, sizing, colors. High minimum quantity orders are usually requested. Flexible sizing is based on also outdated body standards, usually very Eurocentric, with less than 1% of all the items sold and in production actually even recycled, according to Ellen MacArthur. Now, the new model that we'd like to aim for is the AI-powered model, which is real-time size adjustments. So AI-driven size, the fit errors, dynamic inventory planning. So AI would forecast the demand, reducing dead stock, and that would be based on the previous cases and the try-ons that are actually happening. And synchronized production, brands produce only what's needed, and this is also by Finesse's adaptive production model, but we're also seeing Alibaba was trying this in Hangzhou even in 2018 in their factories. So these are things that are happening, but how can virtual try-ons really help? So right now, VTOs do allow customers to try on clothes digitally. They enhance the online shopping experience and they do address the fit issues, but it's a fairly new technology. So the industry adopters are mostly right now, that what I see anyways, are fast fashion retailers like Marks and Spencer's, Walmart, who just bought Zeek, and Topshop, who are embracing digital fashion / virtual avatars to streamline wholesale or to streamline the back-end operations. Slower movers we saw are a bit more in luxury, labels like Balmain, OTB Group, and Loro Piana are opting for this. However, it's a bit slower due to technical limitations in the poly effects. So what about this fitter solution? Virtual fit technology for everyone in order to enhance cross-function collaboration along the value chain for users and for brands. This is what we like to aim to do, finding items that fit the body shape, reduce the size confusion, increase certainty with better purchasing decision, and even being able to explore your own mix and match style discovery. For brands, of course, is to boost conversion, upsell, creating smarter databases, creating scalability, and reducing that overproduction. So this is a demo that I'd like to share with you guys today. This is Shirley. She's just, at home taking a photo of herself. She has, front and profile. She insert her name and her height. And there you have her avatar that is fully rigged, bust, waist, hip, and circumference. And she's able through API integration to find her own items that she prefers. For example, this tracksuit, she can use small, medium, or large, and understand through heat map technology if she prefers a centered fit, loose fit, tight fit, etc., which should also reduce the margin of error from her side. So this is just another example. This is the actual back end. So this is the actual fit, what it would actually look like if you choose, for example, size small, size medium, or dresses in order to reduce that margin of error. So we took a small, then we took a medium and a large. So this is just for you guys to see a bit more very fast some of our demos that we've been doing already with friends. Yeah. And I can share more of this with you, of course, later. So yeah, just to recap, before, it's buy on, try with high returns, a lot of uncertainty from the customers. Now we're trying on, having that body adaptability, having a better purchase certainty to lower the returns. So let's fix this 220 billion return rate problem, guys. The key takeaways I'd like to share with you today are 4. Body inclusivity is not a trend. It's the new industry standard. Authenticity and representation do build strong brand loyalty, and we've seen it over and over with key success cases. Fit-related returns are actually fashion's biggest profitability lead today. And we strongly believe that tech-driven personalization, such as virtual fittings or AI sizing tool, are going to be the next step in making fashion truly accessible, truly inclusive, and more personalized for everybody. So AI is transforming, and the brands that embrace this today are going to lead the industry tomorrow. Thank you so much for your time, and you guys can feel free to connect with me through the QR code, or if you have any question. I think we have around 4 to 5 minutes. So yes, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very much. Ask that you continue to show the QR code for those who haven't.
Sure.
And I do echo everything that you said, that body positivity is not a trend, it's an authenticity, is something that's not going to go away soon. So thanks for that great presentation. Nuva typically, how do they collaborate? Collaborate with brands or influencers or?
Yeah, that's a great. So I would here, we are also Cs in the MVP phase. So if there's any influencers who, would like to push this message forward, I'd be seeing how small size in order to test this even more out. And we are going to launch at Viva Tech again this May to really focus on building here for these couple of months, still on the POC phase. Yeah.
So we built a tech called Yologram. So we do conversion of the photograph to a 3D avatar, then fitting its clothing, branded clothing, all of that. And again, a little slider that lets you adjust the body, very similar to the way you've done it. But if there's any possibility of a collaboration here in Asia or any other part, we'll be happy to extend that. So
so you guys are also doing this as well, right?
Yeah, I'm in addition to being a moderator, I'm the founder of a company called Yologram, and we create. We're focusing more on the gaming side, so we've done a couple of gaming conferences where consumers just come and then they put on their favorite brands and they go into these games.
Oh wow!
We're looking at all the use cases and trying to build those use cases, but would love to collaborate with as many.
Yes. I think gaming is such a fantastic area. It's an area that, from a technical perspective, we would like to touch, but this would make much more sense. So for sure, let's line a combo.
We can go ahead and I'm not sure if we have the next presenter with us, but that was an amazing presentation that we had from Yanni, and I believe the next speaker that we have is Marco. Marco, I see Marco's note taker. I am not sure if he's in the room right now. And we encourage everyone around us that will be there. We're going to find if we can come up and share his screen.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Yanni.
Thank you.
All right, I just heard that Marco is on his way to the stage. We already have his note taker taking notes for him before he's here. Marco. Great to see you here.
Hi.
We hear you and we see you. I'm just going to start with a very, very small introduction about the work you've done. So you're the founder of Metagate in Milan, and you're going to be talking about mixed reality and fashion and image tracking coming to headsets. So this should be really interesting. Thank you very much, Marco. So whenever comfortable, you can screen share and go ahead and present what you have.
Oh, what? So, do you hear me? I hope so. I see me in.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
We can hear you. It's also being relayed to Special, so a lot of people can hear you in our Special.
Yeah, I see me on LinkedIn now. So I want to thank you to invite me for sure, and Isola for sure. It's always a pleasure to collaborate with you. And I'm Marco, and I'm the founder of Metagate. We are really focused on developing in mixed reality. Realized a lot of experiences with reality. Mixed reality, and we did a lot of experiences covers. And now we have a lot on the of the new act. So, and we are trying to understand how to migrate these kind of experiences on this new device, because there are really a lot of new things that we need to care about, or of all the things, features that we are not able anymore to use because the devices or because the new platforms. So as the last year, I'm here today to fix some points and to understand together chart and pain means to really to really let this market grow. So the first point I wanted to share with you is that in mixed reality on the assets, we are really find a user experience that has wow, really more powerful than augmented reality on smartphone or other devices. And this is the first point that I like a surprise. We were so focused on smartphone, but when it started to bring us the experiences on smartphone on headsets, we realized that the experience on headsets it was so much more engaging during an event. Starting focusing ourselves maybe not only but mostly on that. And this is the first point because in our before this we were really focused on smartphone because we said okay, everyone has a smartphone in his pocket. And so anyone is able to do that, to experience that kind of solution. The trade-off we discover is that if the experience is not enough, can be a problem. And so we really appreciate this new kind of device because allows us to create experiences that are really, really engaging. Even if there's a few people that has an headset in this moment, and even if we are able to allow a few people to experiment the experience together. So this is the first point I want to share with you. The second point that is really related to fashion, I think, because it's something that I discussed with some of you. The assets are not the smartphone in this moment, are not the computer, and they are so powerful as these two kind of devices. So in this moment, we have some limitations, even more than before, about the quality and the hyper-realistic assets that we can integrate in our experiences. And so we are really more focused in this moment on the interactions that we can create and the gamification that we can bring inside this kind of experiences. Then not the quality, but the details that we can add to our models. And I really for this market fashion, this is for sure a big pain because everything in fashion, in luxury, is related to the quality of the assets that is possible to spawn, is possible to manage. So the first point I want to share with you is that in this moment, we can start again experiment this kind of experiences in this kind of interactions, but we really hope and we are really sure that in the near future we will have much more powerful devices that will be able to use that you already have, because we know that a lot of people among you, amazing piece of art, work art about fashion, but it's really difficult to manage and use them in mixed reality experiences. So this is the first point I wanted to share with you. Also mentioning a particular graph, maybe, I don't know if anyone of you knows, it's a theory that is called Uncounted Valley, that says that if you are not able to use really realistic, hyper-realistic assets, and you go near to them, not hyper-realistic, but something near of them, it could be really disappointing for the final user. So this theory says that in this moment it could be more useful to use low poly assets than really a realistic one. I really suggest you to watch this kind of graph, Uncounted Valley, because it's something that helps really a lot of us to speak with our clients to make them understand what this means for the final users. And so this is our suggestion, in order also to speak with someone that is less used to this kind of experiences or word or languages. There's another thing that I want to mention you, that in our opinion it's going to change really a lot of things in mixed reality, and also about fashion, because we know that image tracking maybe on the assets blocked. We are not able to access to camera APIs data, and this means we are not able to scan a QR code, scan it to make appear something in space related to something in the world. And this means that also it's really difficult for us to track a suit, a wearable on a physical body. And so we can maybe understand think the position of the headset, but it's something very not so precise, not at all. And it's not enough in this moment. And so it would be really more important to be able to track the button and to know which person with these two kind of data, we would be able to make you wear what you want and let other people see what you are wearing also in mixed reality. Like you see in this moment in spatial that anyone is able to see what you are wearing. You would be able to do the same also in the real world in mixed reality. And I think this could be really important for this market and can change a lot. Also because in multiplayer we are already able to see other people and what they are doing in mixed. And so you can record, you can make a photo, you can do a lot of things also with the others in a collaborative way. And if you are able to see what the other person is wearing as a digital wear, could be really powerful. And the image tracking combined with the multiplayer features could also allow us to see multiple people together wearing different wearables. In this moment, I know that, for example, if you go in front of the mirrors, the screens, the mirror screens that you can find usually at the events, where you can see you wearing a digital wear. The pain in that case is that if two people are in front of that screen, it's very difficult for the software to understand who is wearing what. But if we have image tracking on the headset combined to the multiplayer feature, we would be able to understand who is wearing what. It's not so easy to understand, I understand, but yeah, who is wearing what is something that we really hope that can change this market about fashion in mixed reality. I want to speak with you about the last feature that we are to finish about image tracking. We are really positive on this because we know that Google with Samsung are going to release a new headset that should integrate from the very beginning this kind of feature. And we know that also Apple and Meta are working on that because all the headsets are already able to do this, but they are not, but they are blocked, so we cannot use. And so we have to use this kind of feature. The last point I wanted to share with you, because it's something maybe that could include to create some catwalk to showcase your wearable also in mixed reality. As Metagate, we have just developed a private app in order to be able to showcase images, videos, and 3D model from a Google Drive. So you are able to upload your models, your 3D assets, also with one animation in this moment, in a Google Drive, linked to the app, and so you will find your assets directly in mixed reality. And this is quite powerful because allow you to we use this mixed reality, that is something that is not so used in this moment. And you can upload really fast new models. You can picture really fast if you need to change an image, you can change a picture, you can change an asset, and you can also, we also added a feature so you can move with one hand the assets where you want. If you use two hands, you can scale them, and you can also save the position in space. So what you can do is upload an asset, you can take it, scale it, put where you want in a room, save the position, and then anyone else who uses that headset can see in that space this asset. And you can also record, make videos or screenshot or whatever. And so we want to release this for free in order to let anyone to use this and help us to share this kind of technology. This is everything for me. This is the point of situation in this moment, and I'm really happy to be here again. And thank you again to everyone who let this possible for us.
Thank you very much, Marco. I think we really appreciate you sharing the vision of Metagate, as well as talking a bit about the app that you said is the private app that you'd like to share with the community. If there's any details you'd like to share about how community members can engage and download this app, this would be a good moment. And for also, what's the best way for people to get in touch with you?
Yeah, you can write to us on any social network you find us without any problem. There's an email on our website. In any way, we are available. And for the app, it's really simple. We need only, you need to have an headset, a MetaQuest 3 or MetaQuest 3S. But after that, we need to have a call together in order to set the Google Drive folder. But it takes 10 minutes in a call, and then you are free to use. So this is
wonderful. Yeah, sounds super simple. Thank you, Marco. Thank you for again sharing your vision. More than that, keeping to time. I think we're very thankful to all the speakers for keeping to time. In fact, we were running ahead of time, and again appreciate very kind of some of the speakers to come ahead in time as well. So I believe Lauren is here, Lauren Catcher, who goes by the name Ultra, and I also see that she goes by the name Kalau, because I did introduce her in the startup. Full organizations together. We've been part of the Metaverse Fashion Council. We've been part of the Fashion DAO, and she's been OG in the entire digital fashion as well as the fashion space. She's the founder and creative director of Ultrarage. She's going to be speaking on Fight Fire with Fashion, a digital revolution in disaster relief. I think it'd be really, she's a great speaker, so would love to see what she has to share. Thank you, Lauren, for coming, and the floor is yours.
Hello, thank you for the introduction, and great to be here. Great to see you again. Excited that you guys have been running this initiative with all this kind of dynamic approach to experiencing in different spaces that have been all created by the community. So excited to be here and to also share what we've been working on, and give you guys a bit of a peek behind the curtain, a little sneak peek. And so I will share my screen. Let's see how it goes. You can let me know if you can see okay.
Yep, we see it.
You see? Perfect. All right, well, I'll get started. So thank you, Anita, for the introduction. And yes, we have been in the same circles for a while now. So it's great to hear how you guys have been doing, that the space is still growing. I know we've been through, so many ups and downs, so many hype cycles. And so for us, it's interesting to see what lasts, what sticks, and what really can be a long-term solution through innovation. So I am wearing Ultra. I have changed to Ultra recently. It's a rebrand because life is all about evolution. And so my background is as a fashion designer. I've been in the fashion industry for the past 15 years, living in New York, London, and Paris. And so I have always been working on the side of innovation in fashion, whether that's around digital or sustainability. Some of my previous clients include Saint Laurent and in the Kering Group, as well as Loewe from LVMH. And during COVID is when I got really deep into Web3 to figure out basically how do we use this technology to solve some of the problems and the challenges that we have in the fashion industry, whether that's around waste or it's around how we interact with each other in teams, or about how do we consume products in order to be more positive for people and planet. So that's really our mission at Entourage. That is the reason that I founded the label, is to experiment and provide new solutions, not only for us as a brand, but for the industry as a whole. So that is what brought us to this initiative. So Fight Fire with Fashion. So I am originally from California. I don't live there now, but I still feel very connected to the state. And when I saw the news on January 7th about the fires that were focused mostly on Eaton and Palisade, I really wanted to find a way to get involved. Like, how do I contribute? How do I help as a fashion designer, right? Like, I'm not a firefighter. I can't go and I don't have those skills. But what can I do with my medium and with my knowledge to make an impact? So it really started by getting an understanding of what is the cause, and speaking with those who were on the ground and invested in the recovery and prevention and just putting out the fire. So basically, these are some stats of what the impact was of that fire, and it was quite different. It was really, within homes, within town, it destroyed businesses, and just, like the cultural loss, I think, is also quite devastating for LA. So about 57,000 acres were burned, 60,000 homes, businesses destroyed. And so that came to about like 250 billion cost of damage. So, right, it's not only devastating to people, but it's also economically quite impactful. So big cost. how do we approach this as an initiative to help? So we have kind of like three core approaches to rise, restore, and protect. How do we recover from what has happened, rebuild, and then prevent future wildfire disasters? So I was put in contact with CORE. So they are a nonprofit that's really at the forefront of disaster relief. They were founded in 2011 by Sean Penn and Young Lee. And so they have an incredible amount of resources and understanding of how to support something like this. They have a specific program dedicated to rebuilding LA, and they're also based in LA. So reach out to them just to see, to learn more about the cause, how can we support as a brand initiative, and get on the road to recovery and rebuilding. Something that is, I think, quite not really considered or thought about is not only, because everyone really rallied, all across the world. We heard, different ways people were helping, different initiatives that were starting, because, it was just so impactful. And so something that happened, though, was with physical donations, a lot of that added a layer of challenge, to the teams who were on the ground. There was all these things donated, but not all of them wanted. A lot of it just ended up being wasteful. And so thinking about how can we have a new approach, still leveraging identity, impact, but something leveraging technology and removal. So this is what let us start Fight Fire with Fashion. So it's a totally digital initiative to support the LA wildfire. We worked with a great team of collaborators and partners and created something that's really unique and definitely a new approach. But how do we also leverage identity to make this more resonate with our emotions, with who we are, in addition to helping the cause? So a bit about Entourage. So we began in 2019, really early on the scene, and like it sounds great to be early, but it sometimes isn't. I think people here can resonate with that. Just testing and learning, trying out different technologies, whether that's from augmented reality, like the earrings that we have here. These were the first NFT earrings that we launched with Jevels, when we're also featured in New York Times, and as well as having these different approaches in identity, whether that is kind of this layered approach of how do you combine the physical, the augmented, and the virtual. So by bringing more awareness to the cause, like not only that this is about what term impacts, what does this mean for climate change, as well as fueling relief efforts. So 10% of the net profits of the Fight Fire with Fashion digital collection will go to support poor. And then lastly, how do we do this in a new way where we can leverage fashion in a way that's authentic, that is impactful? So these are a few of our campaign partners. They've been co-creators, they have been supporters, and so soon we will be officially launching on March 20th with a series of activations, and they have been incredibly supportive. And many of them are based in California and LA, since it was important to us to connect with those who were there, who would have a lot of awareness around cause as well. So a bit on what is to come. So one campaign, many things and fun parts included into it and ways to get involved. So I'll share more about that, as well as several event activations on how to interact with what we've created and learn the message. And then as well as an educational portion around community challenges and learning from expert panelists on the topic. So how it works is on March 20th, the website will be live, and you will just go to purchase a digital product from the collection, and then you'll get access to the campaign events, the experiences, and the tour of activations that I have mentioned. So a little sneak preview, here's the collection. So it's made of these three pieces. We have earrings, we have the hat, and we have the jacket. So these, we totally have leveraged AI. It's been this year's and last year's newest hype cycle. So So here's a preview of the campaign. So it's composed of a couple different benefits of after you purchase the product. So we have a film that we did with one of our partners, Sawhorse, and so we'll be showing that, as well as the collection that I mentioned with 100% of the net profit sales to support core. We also have experimenting with AI, not only as to create it, but also to get dressed in the products. So that's also coming soon. As well, we work with Giovanna Teresa from Fantastic 3D Fashion to create many of the assets, including these AR filters. And so not only the different products that are within the campaign, we have a full experience, a long-term of like, how do we do this authentically? So this is the tour. So as of now, we have 4 events confirmed, including this one. This is our teaser, our announcement. And then next week we'll be officially presenting during LA Fashion Week the different parts of the campaign. And leverage identity. And so we have a couple of different ways to get involved, whether that is through sponsorship. So we provide the opportunity to share your brand across our tour. It's very collaborative. That we post on the tour schedule. So we have those 4 events coming up next. But if you also would like to share this message with your community, we can also discuss that kind of like co-creation of an event. And lastly would be the collection. So purchasing to access these different capabilities with wearing, and share on socials to get the message and the movement of the word out. So I'm almost done. I don't know how it is on timing, but this is our first challenge. So we are looking now for Fight Fire with Fashion ambassadors. Obviously those who feel connected to fashion, to tech, to this cause, to activism. So there's just a couple of steps. You can go ahead and scan the QR code, which I haven't tested, so I really hope it works. Scan it, and so that will lead you to the hat filter on Snapchat, and capture your opinion wearing via video or image, and post on Snap or Instagram, tagging us on Snapchat at Entourage Label or Instagram at Entourage Official, and drop that hashtag FFWF, and we'll be looking through and picking our favorites to become part of the first cohort of ambassadors, featuring you in our campaign press materials and getting exclusive access to our tour and events. So that is how to get involved if you're interested to be an ambassador, test out the products. So yeah, these were made with Fantastic 3D Fashion. And yes, I believe that is what I have. So next page is just how to contact me if you're interested to talk more about the campaign, if you're to sponsor, if you're interested to co-host an event, let me know. And then this is how to test the filter and become an ambassador. That's what I got.
Excellent. I think that was some amazing content, and appreciate the Fight Fire with Fire. It's really sticky. It stays in the mind with the firefighter helmet. I think that, and congratulations on the campaign that you're going to have in March and April. I think it's going to be super successful, and when you talk about partnerships, is it kind of physical events that you're looking at doing, or are these virtual events as well?
Yeah, many of them are hybrid. So this one obviously virtual, so that's an option. So I think that's what's interesting. Like it can take a variety of forms. So this one's obviously virtual. Our next premiere at LA Fashion Week is physical. And then the one after will be the XR event, and that's also physical, potentially hybrid. And then the Earth Day will be hybrid. So we'll have like a metaverse virtual component, and then as well as in LA. But yeah, we have a couple additional pending dates, but to be confirmed upon.
Yeah, the point of my asking that was in case you're physically located somewhere else and you still want to partner with Ultrage, you can still do it digitally as well. And because
exactly.
all the content could be streamed across, so there are opportunities there to partner as well.
Right.
All right, thank you. You kept your time. Thank you very much, Lauren. I
Nice.
think
All right.
have the next speaker, Javier. He's in Zoom right now. Hopefully he can hear us. So I think Javier is trying to log in from both Spatial and Zoom. That's not going to be good. So we'd recommend that you connect through Zoom and unmute from here. A couple of, for those of you who don't know, Javier has been quite a famous name in the digital fashion space. He's been the ex-community manager of DressX. He's currently with Stella's project. I think it's called Lalama. And he's a Web3 community architect, social media strategist, done a lot of work with digital fashion. He's an AI fashion innovator. He focuses on advertising and partnerships, and he's also done work with the Atlanta magazine, which I mentioned earlier. He's going to be doing a talk on digital fashion, building numbers of communities. It's really about that quality factor on whether the communities are going to be more quality or just numbers out there. So Javier, whenever you're comfortable, you can unmute and put on the camera. We're ready to give the floor to you. Okay, so I'm guessing Javier can hear us. Meanwhile, I would request everyone to enjoy the spatial room that we have and interact with the fellow audience members. I believe Javier should be starting soon. Hi, Javier, we see you. So you can go ahead and unmute and go ahead and start.
Hello, guys. How are you today? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you fine.
No, that's great. That's great. Are we starting already or waiting for someone else?
So we just did a brief introduction of you, Javier. I think that was like 1 minute back, and the audience is keen to hear what you have to share.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. My name is Javier Guzman. Javo G, as many of you already know me. I was working at DressX, as you already know. I'm not working there anymore. So I'm the ex-community manager for 2.5 years, and I've been on the digital fashion side, community management since 2022, something around that. And well, today I just have experience on collaborating with many brands, collaborating with Web3 companies as well. And I want to focus a little bit today and share more insights about community building. That's the part that I mostly do. And I want to lead a lot of conversations going around this, but one of the things that I've been noticing ever since I've seen this panel speaking and other community building conferences is that there's most often the people that get asked to talk about community building is the people that is not doing the community building, but because in those positions, you are not, capable of speaking about the community building, but it definitely is, it's from another dimension, totally different dimension. The one that is a leader is talking about. The leader, company leaders is not building, the community at that point. It's helping the community manager and the community team and the developing team to grow the community, but it's definitely not there. And I want to dive a little bit more into this subject because what I've seen so far is that there's a lot of confusion when it comes to creating a community, growing your brand, or just having user acquisitions. It's a totally different scenario, the ones that you need to understand first before making or building a community, because we have seen so far here on digital fashion how many other companies, projects, and emerging initiatives that have come ever since 2022, and most of them have already gone. So I'm not saying it's gone, but most of the community efforts that were made at that point, they're gone right now. Many of them, they just left their community side to pursue a full business model idea, to revenue, to monetize, to make the company grow. And it's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that. There's always, everyone is pursuing a business model. To someone that is a community, a member of your community that is totally engaged with you. So it needs to go on a slow mode. The community building doesn't happen from one day to another. You need to be consistent. You need to be relentless in everything you do, and you need to be always there and always exploring new ideas with the community or for the community. So the first thing to understand here is to what is when you're trying to grow on social media, to have leverage for your partners. So you need big numbers to leverage on that, but that doesn't mean that you have a very engagement community. That doesn't mean that you have a very big volume of people that will follow you or follow anything that you're doing. There's just accounts. Most of the time you can get that with paid mechanics that will bring you accounts, but there's no engagement. So that's a hollow account that you can flex those numbers to a certain type of partners, but not all of them, because many of them are looking for real activity. So this is the first thing to acknowledge is, okay, I want to bring my brand awareness, so I need to grow my numbers. So I need to bring numbers, to bring accounts, So that's will be the first step. And this first is just about brand awareness. There's a lot of posting about, advertisement and what you do, and, a broader idea of what are you doing and who you are, so they can just relate a little bit. They saw some content that they like, they saw something that is, interesting, so they follow you, so you have an account. So this is the first step, to grow your accounts on your social media, so you can have leverage on that. And then from that, you need to do, there's a lot of activities and mechanics that you can do for that, not just paid mechanics, but most of the time at this first stage is just paid mechanics, so to grow awareness and advertisements and stuff like this. So the second stage goes to from an account member to a follower. So a follower drops into a little bit more of engagement with you. He was already, he already likes something about you specifically. He's following you already because he wants to see your post or your latest news feed on their feed. So they already engage with you at some level. So this part is where the community building starts, where you start to move away from followers to community members. And this is where a part where it all get mixed up, because I've seen, companies or projects that they're trying to build a community, but they don't have a roadmap. A roadmap is super essential, for to grow a community, to make to grow an expectation of what's coming, developing. I've heard many different opinions on this. I've heard people that say, why should I make a roadmap and show everyone what I'm trying to do? That doesn't make any sense, because other people will copy me. So yes, it might happen, but this is why you need to be, smart enough so you can just give hints of it without showing what is it that you're going to do, because this is the whole idea, to make awareness and an expectation around it. So that's where you start to, to just try to drive your followers into be more engaged with you, be more engaged with your product, with the things that you're trying to do. And then here we start all other types of mechanics. There's not community mechanics, but they're conversion mechanics. For I need you to be fully into my my product, to my community. So how can I make you be part of my community and be as much interested in what I'm doing? So this is where another type of mechanics enters in the play. So you need to start growing this by trying to make the conversion into followers. So this is very complex. This is a very complex area, because growing account is not as difficult as it seems. And if you have a budget, everything works around a budget, really. And when you try to go from followers to community members, is where everything starts to get a little bit tricky. So this is an area because we have seen a lot of new products or innovations coming up in the digital space, but they're not meant at the end to be offered for the community. They're just, this is where I mostly say that most of the companies have get the idea wrong, because it centers the whole idea on the product, and it centers a base sales market from that community. So this is, I understand that this is one of the ideas to having a strong community, obviously, to have some type of level of sales between your community. But this is one of the things that I think it has to change a little bit, because we have seen that most of the companies that have done that, they're not here anymore. In exchange for them to be as much active with my product. So in this case, is digital fashion. There's a lot of areas that we can dive in with the community, but it's also a business situation. I understand that clearly too, but the idea of your community and trying to get something back, revenues out of it is not going to be just taking money or just sales or have this basis of sales with your community, because they're the ones that they will tell with your product what need to be, put aside from the moment, and we work strongly in some other areas. Many of those things happen with your community. That's why the soft launches that are very, very on anything that you want to do. And soft launches mostly don't work if you don't have a community base. They don't, many times they don't call it a community, because it's like they make a soft launch, and there's people, trying it, obviously, because you're making awareness on social media, so people enter and try to check on your new project, what is your offering, so they try it, and that's it. But they don't. When you have community members, that you ask them directly, hey, we're gonna make this drop. We need you guys to check them out. We need you guys to tell us what you think. How is it working? Your workflow, your UX, and everything. So this is very, very important, because here, when you make a soft launch with your community, when you have a strong community, in the very, very first 5 minutes, you will get everything that you need to know from your product, everything. So if it's effective, if there's something wrong with it, what is it that is wrong with it? How can it fix? The solutions. The community is amazing in this part, because I've seen and experienced that when we drop something, and the first 5 minutes of it, it was all feedback from the community, and many of the times we found out about things that were going on without even knowing ourselves that it was an issue happening, and the community were the ones that identified that problem, and they let us know as fast as they could. This is what happened in the first 2 minutes of the drop, and it's amazing to see this, because they completely understand what you're doing. That's a community member. That's someone that understands what you're doing, why you're doing, your vision. Something very important to share. Many of the companies and projects that are trying to build in a community, they don't have a vision to share to their community. There's just what we're doing, how we're doing it, and where we're gonna be. But there's nothing that say that, okay, I want to bring my community here and want them to understand and to be fully immersed in what we're doing in our vision. So I think that's the strongest flex that anyone can have in a community, when they really relate with you, with your vision, with the things that you're doing. It's a long shot relationship with the community, and they will be pushing your products, your ideas, and everything on everywhere that you can imagine. Spaces, they will talk about you, they will drop things for you, post, they will engage with your post, they will retweet, they will buy your stuff, even if they don't want it. They sometimes invite, and if you ask them to trade them as well, it all depends on what is it that you're offering to them, so they can leverage that work that they're doing for you. Because at some point, the only thing that they have to give to you is the work and the support that they want for your company. So this is super important to always, let them know that they have a place where you are able to support them, not only on the side that they are doing it for you, but that you can do for them as well. Opening, in the digital fashion area, I think it's very centered, focused on showcases, collaboration opportunities, business opportunities, entering to, having designs with some gaming companies and stuff, so like that. So opening some areas for the community is always very good for the community, obviously. But this is where it gets very tricky, because how can I explain? It's not as easy as it seems for a brand, a very established brand, to work with someone, even more fashion. It's very complex for a brand that is in fashion, that work with someone that is not related to fashion. I saw that happening many times over, and I was amazed because of that. That being able to see that there are maybe certain companies that they have reputation, that it doesn't matter how much money they put in some initiative, they need to have fashion collaborators related. So sometimes it doesn't matter if the other person is not the best one to develop your idea, but it's the one that most relates to your business core, that is fashion. So I was amazed about this because one will always think that you will try to ensure that your investment instead of just trying to get along, but it's completely different. So this is something that it blew my mind when I saw this kind of actions. But I understand, because there's no relation and there's no connection with the community. They have maybe millions of followers, as I mentioned. They may have millions of accounts or followers, but they don't have a community. They don't have someone that is engaged with everything that they're doing. So this is where it gets tricky, as I mentioned, because you might be a community and you might think that you can, open a Discord or open another channel so you can gather them all in. And then suddenly you realize that they don't care because they don't relate with you. They don't relate with anything that you're doing. Just, you have, flashy products or flashy advertisement and stuff like that. So they fall for that. So, as I mentioned, for me in digital fashion, this was very astonishing, as I can say. So I understood it. I understood that because of the business model, but not on the other side. Completely. I never understood that. But I saw that happening with many, not just fashion. All the other companies as well on other industries, but they've all tried to relate with someone that relates with them, not the best one for developing the business idea. So what are the takes that you can have from all of this is that at some point everyone wants to have a strong community, but I really don't understand why. Because there's many companies that they don't need a community. They have a very good product, they have sales, they have revenues, they have a business model that is working, but then they dive into the community. And sometimes not all products and not all companies need a community. And it happens as well that you are not managing the community in the right way, and everything backfires to you. So they don't want to, they will start, because we all talk about the good things when you have a community that will push you, they will talk about you, they will engage with your product. But when things go south, they can also be the worst person that you can have. They can talk bad about you, they can be engaging in a very bad way on your post. At the end, it's just engagement. That's what you want to have on your social media, even if it's a bad or good. It's engagement. It's up to you. How can you switch that to be from a bad hang to a good one? And it's all totally up to you, to the company. So if you can't even handle that, is that you can't have a community, my friend, because community means that there will people that will not be sometimes related with what you're doing. They will have comments about you, comments about how you do things, and you need to be able to leverage that and to make them know that it's not you, it's the business model, but we are trying to give space for everyone to develop with themselves. So as I mentioned, this is a very tricky part for brands, and most of the time they just felt that they can dive into building a community, and suddenly it's not working. We've seen that with other very big companies diving into Discord, and if you go to their Discord, there's nothing there. It's just a chat channel. That's it. So it's like, I ask myself, like, does community building just have been reduced into just a channel, or what's going on? Because nobody, I think, when they're trying to build a company or a product, and you don't think about community, you think about followers, you think about people that buy your product, not people that will follow you. And it's very highly important if you want to it's like AI agents, because in today's world, we hear every day talking about AI, how everything can optimize and faster, and you don't need to spend time on this, and your AI agent will do everything, post on social media, make this, talk about this, respond, reply, blah, 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 blah. So there's no organic interactions. And everyone understands it and everyone knows about it. When you talk with an AI, it's very easy to understand that, to know that it's an AI. So even if it falls into customer service, you need to have this direct organic interaction with everyone, so they feel more related with you, and they feel that if they go to you, there will be someone that they can talk to and they will understand what is going on, not just an AI they have to that have some answer to predefined questions, and if you don't find your answer there, is okay, it doesn't exist. So it works like that, and I think that's one of the parts that it doesn't work like that. Everyone, when they're trying to build a community, they try to automate a lot of things that are happening, and there are things that be easier if you automate it, but then you need to have an organic 100% an organic interaction with everyone, an organic growth as well. You cannot show yourself. Sorry, guys. I was about to lose my battery. Sorry. So, and this part is what I just want to emphasize in this slide. Say, it's not, if you are not trying to build a community, you're just trying to stick with followers, people that engage with your post, stay there. Don't take the next step into trying to build that community, because if your business model doesn't allow anyone else to enter and to be part of that business model along with you, and you can offer them places, you can offer them contracts or collaborations or something that the community is asking you from, there is no reason for you to dive there. It will be more complex, and it will mean very, very much a very high investment, because once you start building a community, most of the time the community will just require money from you, investment from you, time from you. Most of the time it will require things from you, but it will be very difficult to monetize that community, because the monetization comes from the last part of building that community. The monetization needs to come as how can I explain, something that is a necessity to be or to be part of that community, not just not working on everything at the end, just mean to you own that asset on your wallet. It doesn't work like that. The asset needs to unlock many more experience and many more things within that business model, within that community, not just channels and not just other part on server or another social media. That's why I said you need to build your roadmap, and you need to build what is it you want to deliver to the community at the end. There's a lot of AI tools, a creator accelerators that can be used at the end. I know of many of them, but they're not using it in this way. They just want to show how a creator can just accelerate their work into monetizing, but they're not trying to build a community to understand why you need that accelerator for the community. Why you need someone to accelerate their career, basically. Yes, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of not understanding how your videos are paying off on social media, how your engagement is paying off. There's a lot of things that just fall into a black hole, and there's supposed to be some revenue out of that. So trying to tackle situations for the community, but as I mentioned, it's highly cost. It comes with a very high cost, and the first thing that every brand or everyone wants to, you're able to monetize. But the first thing that you need to monetize is not always the first one that everyone is doing. First one that we want to monetize is by selling things to the community, and the first way you need to monetize is just leveraging those big numbers that you have from your accounts for other partners, for brands, so they can see that you have big numbers, that you can, bring and just not engagement, but you can bring visibility, because this is the first part of it. We need visibility for this drop, we need visibility for whatever, so we need big numbers. So this is the first idea of saying, okay, I want to monetize, but I will monetize my big numbers, not my community, And this is also a mix of ideas to say, okay, I don't know how to leverage my big numbers, so I need to leverage on my community by selling them stuff. So like, no. You need to leverage first your numbers and then monetize out of it. How? Well, I have big numbers, you charge for your posts, you charge for your, retweets, you charge for, mentions, your posts, or maybe not charging, but they have a lot of more weight on what you're doing, not just a quote. You need to learn how to monetize and how to leverage that, and not just say that, hey, I have big numbers, but I don't know how to do it, and I just drop in stuff to my community to see how much I get out of it. It's like, no, that's not the idea. No. Yeah, well, at least it's not for me. That's not the way I see it. I understand that there's many companies that they're doing it on that way, and it has been like that for many time, but it shouldn't be like that. That's one of the things that I believe. And Web3, because we all know Web3 is about creator decentralization. It's about having the opportunity to make things on your own way, and it still have a way of engagement with big companies and other people. So I think it goes totally against Web3 values, but it goes perfectly with a business model. That is also something that everyone, even the community, is trying to do. So there's nothing wrong with that. I think we shouldn't be, how can I explain, pointing the finger into people or companies that are trying to do this, because it's very hard. It's very hard to raise money. It's very hard to develop your project, to be, on this industry that is constantly changing with technology innovations. It's very, very difficult to keep on, not only for big brands, for creators as well, because one tool came out and then another one comes out, and then another one that makes that work faster, and then another one that is a killing of all of the rest. So it's highly complex to just keep up with technology and trying to be on the center of everything that is going on because of technology. So I need the focus on that needs to switch a little bit and to say, how can we fix something that is really going on? Not only on the technology side, but on the business side, on the humane side. What are the things that can be fixed or can be tackled into that? So I know there's plenty of very good ideas within the community, within the creators. There are very, very great initiatives that everyone has their focus on. But as I mentioned again, there's no engagement, there's no push, there's no help from anyone, because I've been seeing so far ever since 2.5 years, 3 years, that it had changed a lot. It have changed, but the first thing that I saw when I entered the space is that everyone wanted to be the number one. Everyone wanted to be on top of everyone else, instead of saying that, hey, this is for all of you. And even that there are companies that they have developed tools that they're meant for everyone. I don't know how they do it, but they make them feel as they're one. Not for everyone, it's just from us to you. So that also, that's the feeling that you are expressing outside of your business, that you're just doing things for people to buy. There is no things for them to come to you and be with you and try to help you to developing better what is it that you're doing. So it's just, okay, I'm here, I buy your stuff because I need it, because it helps me on my creative process or my production line, whatever it is, and that's it. But that's what I think that should be tackle on a different note, tackle on a different way, and thinking always on the community is, I think at this point, if you're in Web3, you need to think about community. Not necessarily, as I mentioned, not every product and company needs a community, but at least just to understand what you're doing, where are you, what is it that everyone's trying to do, what is, the community at the end is just as a company. You need to understand what they want, where are they going, where are they moving, how are they moving, not just that they're moving, how they're moving there, is there tools that will help them, is there just business model that will help them, what is it that they need. So yes, this is one of the subjects that I wanted to dive in. I think I may be explaining a little bit over-explained, but that's how I've been seeing things ever since. And as I mentioned, it's not only from digital fashion. I've seen this on CK Knowledge project, Layer 1 projects, gaming companies. I've been seeing this everywhere. That's why I wanted to tackle into this just to share difference on when trying to build in a community, what are the difference, and not fall into those. And at the end, just say like, hey, this didn't work, so shut down the community, because that's normally what happens. And when you do real connections with the community, you cannot shut down a community. I have persons that, on the Roblox side, I have many community members that they're going through hard times. I have, we had, I call them because they're part of me already, not because, saying that my previous work, but they're going through very difficult stages. Some of them, they've lost their families, their mothers, their kids, and they're with new stepmoms and stuff like this. So they're going through a very difficult stages. There's people that have suffered from family losses, people that have gone to, very like bankruptcies, and they lost everything. I have subjects for all of them. It's not only about making a connection with the product. Once you make a connection with the community, you cannot break it just like that and say like, oh no, the community didn't work, I will shut down Discord, I will shut down Telegram or whatever, and I just get disconnected from the community. It doesn't work like that. So I just encourage everyone to, if you're trying to build a community, if you want to build a community, just to understand these 3 steps and understand how to leverage those and how you will moving all along this way. So it will be the most effective. And you can, at the end, you can even monetize your community, not just by selling stuff, but you leverage your community's strength to other ones. And well, I think that's it right now. I don't know if anyone has questions that you want to drop for me. I will be very pleased to answer them. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Javier, we do have a lot of questions. I got a note from the organizers saying that, would you like to share your artwork in the gallery? So the spatial gallery that we have.
It's already on the gallery, I think.
So yeah, talk about some of that artwork. This would be a good time, because after this, we're in short break.
Well,
another gallery.
As a matter of fact, I would like to mention something about this artwork that I work, because this is essentially one of those, essence. That's why I call it anime essence, because I just try to, how can I explain? I just try to how things are digital fashion space. Everything that I've been seeing so far is like beautiful work, luxury work, just things like ethereal work, the things that I love them, they look great, but I don't feel related to any of them. I really don't. When I see luxury, when I see, these high tailored designs, and I'm amazed with them, but I don't feel connected, because that's one of the things I don't see on a daily basis. What I see is this. I see this, I see colors, I see graffitis, I see streets that are dirty, I see people that is just, trying to make a day. That's what I see daily basis. So that's what I'm trying to express with Animessence too, that, there's also, AI can and will help us to reshape this strategy and say like, hey, what's the idea of fashion, or what's the idea of, bringing together something, if you can really make something, feel like it's belong to everyone. So this is one of the main subjects that I wanted to try to express in this collection. I have a lot the idea of if you want to be someone, you have to let go of who you were, of the person you were, so you can transform into anything else. So it goes something like, where is nothing, there's a possibility of everything. So when you define yourself, you lose the ability to experience thousands of lives and thousands of things. So this is one of the things I'm trying to express. I don't know if I did it well, but by so many colors and so many random things that someone might think that it doesn't look good, but when you put them all together, those nonsense makes something beautiful. So that's how I see things. Imperfections make things perfect. And not things should be perfect ever since its conception. But you can mix all of that things and make something beautiful, because that's how I see humanity. That's how I see how should we relate to fashion. Not just being a form of expression from yourself, what is it that you want to express, but a form of expression that relates to everyone else. So why I took Animessence, and also because of the color. I'm a very colorful person. I also love black. I'm dressed in black right now. But for me, black is the same thing. There's no color, so the possibility of any color there. So black goes along with a lot of colors. It doesn't go along with just black or white. So Animessence is about that. Animessence is to try to find a connection with everyone else, find a connection where you understand that I'm part of you and you're part of me. We don't need to see differences. We don't need to make ourselves look shiny. The idea is to just show, whoever that you relate with them, that you're the same. We can wear the same stuff. We can wear stuff that doesn't look, kind of fancy, but it looks good. And I try to call this into the new generations, of course, because I think they're more connected into this idea than all the generations, and I think more connected into being part of the collective and not be standing out within the collective. They want to mix with everyone. They want to show that they're the same, that they have all the same possibilities, that they can all grow together. So this is one of the things that I want to showcase with Animessence, and I try to just mix ideas. That's why I put it, skirts and urban sweatshirts, and I didn't make it as highly complex as other ones that the structure of the garment is not that complicated. It's just very like sweet sweatshirts and skirts, stuff like this. But also that's what I trying to express, that fashion doesn't need to be out of something, to be for me to be something that I want to turn a look. It can be just a sweatshirt, but with a different design. As you can see in the collection, there's no very complex structure. It's just a lot of patches and colors and faces, to just relate with that. So I think that's what I'm trying to express with Animessence, and I think that many people have understand that. I don't know why, but they have, and I'm very glad that they are feeling the connection with it, because this is exactly what I'm trying to show. There's beauty in chaos, and that's how I see things. And for me, everything doesn't need to be like very well combined in colors and textures. I think that's for a certain generation already, and we've seen that going off, and going to a totally different way of appreciating fashion, appreciating how you wear to others and how others, perceive you. So I hope that more people gets interested on it, and I'm working on the second one. It might not be anime, but yeah, thank you very much, and I really hope you guys like the entire collection. I have thousands of designs really from this collection, but I just dropped like 9. But I will try to show on social media to everyone the rest of the designs. Thank you very much. The generations.
Thank you, Javier. We're running a bit early, so we still have some time if you have the time. So I have a couple.
Yes, of course.
I have
How many? A couple of minutes. Okay. Well, I just want to add on what we were talking about, community building. To just yeah, I'm not trying to say something bad about anyone. As I mentioned, everyone is making their efforts. Everyone is, it's. It's okay to not having some rate or some experimentation of failing, understanding, doing it again and doing it again and try again and fail again and doing it again until you find the correct way, So there is no like this playbook where you can stick to it and everything will work out, it doesn't work like that. And I just want to express that it's fine for everyone to try to explore some new ideas, to explore some new ways, but just have the community on your foresight, just try to always add them into your business model, into your idea. At some point, you don't need to be fully committed to a community, but it's always nice to see that they want to give something back, to put something into the world. Not just taking something back and trying to fix it. It's like, I'm not trying to take something out of it. I'm just trying to put something in to make things better. So I think that's also a way of thinking for everyone, not just to leverage community and to build a very big, strong community for you to leverage to others, but how are you putting things, what is it that you're giving to the community? Not just innovations and products and marketplace spots, but what else are you giving? What else are? So this is something that I will very, very much likely encourage everyone to always look into your projects and try to add a little bit of community on everything that you do, and on every matter. If you're in the community side, if you're in the followers, or you're on the account side, but on any of these 3 stages, there's always something that can be done. And well, if you want to know more like mechanics or strategies to do that, I'm always happy to talk with everyone. I'm always happy to chat with the digital fashion community. I've been for them ever since, and I'm very happy to collaborate as well. So don't feel shy.
I had a quick question, Mark. So, you spoke about focusing more on quality than building the numbers. And if a small brand has a small community, then how do you really monetize it by saying big numbers and I can sell to them? If not, even if I don't sell my own products, I can sell, offer the big community to other brands. So if you don't have big numbers, if you've got a very meaningful group of, say, 100 people or 150 people, but they are the best artists in Berlin, or they are the best fashion designers in Mumbai, how would you a tight-knit, small but meaningful community, how would you monetize that?
That's very interesting. A small community to be monetized, it's basically the same thing, but you cannot be offering as much things, and the things that you're offering to them need to have more weight for them to leverage, not for you to leverage, for them to leverage. We need to understand that the strength that you will gain from your social media or from your side, it will come from them. It will come from them pushing your products, talking about your products. It doesn't matter if it's a small community, but if it's a very small but well engaged and well fitted community, they can move from their own. There's that community will work as a franchise from everyone, so they will They will do spaces. They will talk about your product. They will talk about you. It doesn't matter if they're small, but with one person or two person that are talking about you on social media, you know, one person can feel like 20. So if you have 5 and they're really committed to what you're trying to do, they, you know, you can feel, you know, on social media, they will feel like 100 people, they're posting, they're engaging, you know, it doesn't matter if they're small, but if you have a very well organized and well fitted community, they can work like that. But if you don't share your vision, if you don't share information, if you don't share anything to them, they're just on the expectancy of what's going on. They can't talk about you. They can't say anything about you because they don't know. You have to make them feel that they're part of that business model, not just the community. They understand what you're doing, and at some point they can, you know, they can function as partnership agents for you because they know everything about you. You know, that's something very important. It doesn't matter if it's small. As I said, you know, it can be 3 guys making spaces, and those 3 guys can make huge things. You know, that we have a proof with that with Fashion Fridays. We were just 2, and at the end we were 5, and with hundreds of people that were pushing us and you know, supporting us, and then we started with just 2. So I don't see that a small community cannot be leveraged. You know, obviously, if you want to monetize your community, it will come to a different stage. You know, if you have a small community but have a very quality product, well, that's different. You need to focus on the product if you want to monetize. You cannot focus on the small community to monetize. You need to focus on, like, help me to sell my product, and you can, you know, have a revenue from other side, you know, from contracts or from, you know, social media or for something else. And then when you start to monetize and your product, and that you can share some of that profit back, then you start to do mechanics, and then you start business for them. But at the first time, the first stage is just to, as I mentioned, to give as much information and to bring them as closest as you can from your business model, so they can understand and they can function as agents for you. That will be the first time. And with that, you can monetize their activity. You know, you can say like, hey, I'm not monetizing a small community, but you can see that they're very active. They're encouraged. We can leverage that by saying nothing to them, you know, because they're already doing it. So this is how you leverage the collaborators without monetizing, but the monetization will come with you direct business with the other partner, you know, not the community. The same thing happens when you have a big community, but you need to understand how you want to monetize your community. That's the idea, because when you say monetize your community, you're taking money out of the community, you know, money out of the pocket of your community member. But you say that monetizing, like leveraging, not monetizing, that's different, you know, because from that leverage you can have revenue, but it will not be from the community, it will be from your collaborators, you know, the things that you do. So I strongly suggest that the first idea to understand is to monetize, not to monetize, but to leverage. And then when you have a business model that is giving you revenues, you can think of how can you monetize something for the community. You know, they will monetize, they will earn with you. You know, you will not earn from them. You know, because this is some of the ideas that have changed from play to earn to play to purchase. That's play to purchase is what we have now. You know, or engage to purchase. You know, be part of the community so you can have an allow list and buy this thing before everyone else. So this is product centered 100%. You know, sales. It is not community based. You know, so yes, that's how I think you can, you know, leverage from a small community. Give them as much information, feedback, have them close as you can, and give them opportunity and liberty to do as much as they want, and you support them as well.
Yeah, that's great. It's important to think about how you need to leverage versus monetize. I think that's important things that a founder needs to think about. And you know, also the other thing I wanted to talk about was, because you've been a part of small communities, it's very encouraging to hear what you said about Fashion Fridays. Started with 2 people, went on to 5 people, but had the support of hundreds of people. You've also been part of some really big communities. And something changes when it becomes very big and people stop relating to it, because we've all been through what we went through in 2020, 2021, when we were all on Discord channels and we were all in love and passionate, and we were like all there for our brothers and sisters on Discord. And then something changed. Everything became too commercial, too big, not too much meaning. It just became shill. So what is that magic that's there in a tight-knit, meaningful community which disappears when you scale it or when you compare too much?
Well, I think specifically on talking on digital fashion, what happened is that at the beginning there were a lot of expectations. Remember, there's very important people back 2 years ago that they were asking if digital fashion was a service or a product. So it's like, you don't even know where you're aiming, with that question. And other things that I remember two and a half years ago when it was, we didn't have like a direction where this will end up. So that's how, when you talk about this switch, you can visualize it very well, because it happened from when everyone switched from Twitter to LinkedIn. Everyone moved because they how can I explain that now? There's just this develop. So that's why I think they also have a switch on their minds. They're on the I cannot waste time on the community that is not the end and from them. So in the digital fashion aspect, I think most of the things that have been done right now is just services to fashion brands, products, gaming companies, and we are just starting to see some creator accelerators. But just now, just a couple months ago, they just started to see like really coming out. And I don't know how they work. I don't know what's the basis of their idea, because at the end it's a business model, but it's a business model that is focused for the community. The other one was from a service that you're offering. This is more for the community. So I think that switch, it had to do many with the idea of realization that you need to make money out of what you're doing. So I think that happened when everyone started to realize this, and they jump into LinkedIn and start to switch their conversation to showcase everyone knowledge. How you work with me, and how can I help your brand to get into digital fashion and services? So I think what happened is just it's called business model. Everyone wanted to make money of what they're doing, the time they're spending. It's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with it. And I think that's when everyone realized that, we need to make something out of it, and the community is not helping me, because I want to say that in the digital fashion, we're all the same people just diving into different, projects, but we all see the same faces, we all know each other. So it's like, where is the massification? Where's the other people that is supposed to be entering and filling up these spots? Because we're the ones filling up the spots, just by replacing ourselves in every project. So that's what I think it happened. That's why I think more people that is focused on business and fashion. Okay, I need to make a living. If I want to be here, I need to make a living out of it, and I cannot be doing it with a community that is not giving me anything back. And that's the reality, and it's okay. It's not a bad way of seeing things, because there's a lot of individuals that are trying to make their efforts. So there's not one person that has like the most leverage of all. There might be, but at the end, even those persons don't say all the community, they have some part of it. So that's what I expect specifically think what it happened into digital fashion. Business model is what happened, and everyone is trying to pursue that. Everyone is trying to pursue the money and the revenues and this and everything that they can offer. They want to relate with big brands, they want to relate with big projects, and it's okay. It's not that. But that's why I think specifically on digital fashion, what happened. And as I mentioned, everyone moved to LinkedIn because of it, and we can see that on LinkedIn. Everyone is trying to show how useful they are to brand, to collections, and to everything. So you can hire me or pay me my service and be here. So that's what I specifically think happened, and that drove the idea to make individual efforts instead of doing a community effort. Because there's not a hub. There you can say like there's this place where you can get collaborations from this hub, and this hub will hire people from the community. They will give them the connection to those brands, those partnerships. There's individuals that are trying to push their way through. They are trying to make collaboration, trying to get their services on the business side, and it's highly complex. But there's just one or two persons, fighting everyone. So I believe a hub will be something very, very nice to have. So they can, we can have like professional people already verified, so that they can work with brands, so they can work or offering those services, than just being themselves and trying to leverage their CVs and their knowledge. I've been through that, right now, and it's highly complex too. You need to go from AI, the AI search engine, and they will kill you if you don't have one word in your CV. So it's highly complex. So yes, this is what I think had happened, and I would love to see how can we, because as you see, we all have a lot of very strong relationship. We all push each other. I think that it's coming back a little bit, that we are trying to push each other and leverage not from ourselves. And so I would love to see how this evolve, into now that we have seen the business side of it and everyone's trying to do, like, how can we tackle them? How can we all, come together as we made two years back, and what ideas can we? That will be most definitely one of very exciting things. Oh, you're muted. I can hear you.
All right. So thank you for that amazing marathon talk, Javier. You've been speaking for almost an hour, and we appreciate it. Amazing insights. You've spoken about your gallery as well. And I think what we're going to do now is we're going to take a small break, as we're going to move to another, we're going to move to another metaverse space. And till then,
Okay.
we're going to be, probably around 4:25 p.m. So, metaverse space, we're going to take a break, and we'll start at 4:25 p.m.
Great. Well, thank you very much, guys, for having me today. It was a pleasure to share all the ideas and
thank you, Javier. And Marco, will
insights. And well, every time. Yes, thank you very much, Marco. Hello, and give the mic to you. Have a great day, guys. I'll be around.
So Marco, we'll be having you at 4:25 p.m. We're going to recircle a new location, and then we'll reconnect at that time.
Yeah, we are already sharing the screen.
Great.
Right. Thank you, everyone who came, and thank you, everyone who have gotten your aura. Here is the portal where you can collect this free aura and add it to your backpack. And we're going to see you in the next location. You're all amazing. I took some great videos. If anybody to talk, please speak. Hey, Michio. Good to see you. Thank you for stopping by. Hey.
I'll be right back.
Alex. Lisbeth cannot sit still. She has to dance. Hey, hey. I reached my maximum time, so now I can do. No, it's true. Like, what kind of event without music, right? And without dances? So yeah, it was a nice time. Thank you guys so much. Looking forward to the next one. And of course, the spaces.
Where to put camera?
Right. We're back from our little break. I hope everyone's settled into the new metaverse space that everyone has. Marco, are you ready to present?
Yes, I'm ready, yes.
All right, the floor is yours. Please go ahead, Marco.
Okay. Do we wait for 25?
I think we're starting right now, so
Okay.
All right.
Okay, all right. So welcome everybody. And I thank Isola for inviting me. I'm Marco Bianconi. I'm the second Marco today. And I'm a researcher of the Italian National Research Council. And I am the scientific director of Mr. Smart Innovation. It's a public-private company that deals with the industrial research. I would like to thank my colleagues Valentina Mondini and Matteo Bevilacqua. They are connecting now, and they are managing the two spaces we are going to visit. So I like to start with a tip. This metaverse contains musical spaces. So for a better understanding of the talk, I suggest you to click the 3 vertical dots on the top right corner. I'm doing the same. And go in settings and then put the music volume to 0. Okay, so tailoring the future. This is an event that took place both on this space, where are you now, and in the physical world the last week. It was the final event of the project called TechStyle Hub. This project was supported by the Italian Ministry of Culture and was part of a call of proposal dedicated to the digital translation of cultural and creative industries. So the project aimed to explore the interaction between art, fashion and technology in order to offer an immersive solution for the cultural and creative industry. So the primary objective was to create a shared virtual hub, this one, that is a digital twin of the Fashion Research Italy Foundation, that was one of the partners of the project. My company is called Mr. Smart Innovation, we created this space, this digital space, with the aim to be the hub of a wide range of cultural events, including exhibition and conferences. And the third partner was a Creative Hub, that is a multi-purpose center for culture and creativity, and the physical network of co-working and co-playing. So, what about the foundation? The foundation was born 10 years ago, and it's the legacy of the brand La Perla, which has been an international top firm of luxury underwear. I think everybody knows La Perla. The mission of the foundation is to preserve the textile tradition of Made in Italy, that is a source of research and inspiration for the new fashion and design collection. And it has also the aim to support companies in the digital and green revolution. So, this was the former industrial plant of La Perla. It was designed by a local architect, Pierluigi Cervellati, in the 80s. And then 15 years ago was redeveloped and expanded to house the new foundation, and this was done by the same architect after 35 years. This project of the foundation consists on the reuse of the two existing postmodern buildings and on the conception of a new connecting volume. This way, the sequence of the three buildings that are connected by a walkway is a design expedient to tell the three souls of the foundation: experience, teaching, and communication. So, by the way, I'm here for the attendees of the Metaverse. I'm here on the wall, beside of the screen. So you can see on my right hand, you see a pre-existing neoclassical building. This is the entrance of the space, and then there is the central building in front of me here, where there is the reception, multimedia classrooms, meeting rooms, workshop, and auditorium at the first floor, just in front of me. By the way, you can visit the building. It's possible to enter everywhere, and I suppose you are able to hear me even if you are inside. I think so. And then the second building on my left is called the museum. This is divided into a big library, an archive area with over 30,000 textile designs, and then there is an exhibition area and the office area. So, the last October we held here an event called Phygital, Web3 Opportunities for the Fashion Industry. This was a day-long event that brought together experts, entrepreneurs, and students to explore the impact of the Web3 and the Metaverse on the fashion industry. Among the speakers, we are glad to have Gloria Maria Cappelletti. She is the creative director of the Red Eye magazine, and she will speak after me today. And the discussion then focused on the evolution of the fashion ecosystem thanks to the Web3, and highlighting the possibilities offered by the Metaverse to create three-dimensional experiences to improve the quality of digital content. So it emerged how a digital approach, so the combination of physical and digital, can represent an advantage in this market that is constantly evolving. The event itself was accessible both physically and in this digital twin, in this space. Where are you now? Just like today, on this screen behind me, it was possible to follow the discussion that was taking place in the physical world in the conference room on the first floor of the central building that is just in front of me here in the metaverse. On the other side, in the conference room, it was possible to see the metaverse space and the avatars of the participants. So, this event highlighted the need of an integrated approach combining physical and digital worlds to ensure a sustainable future for fashion. After this step, the project continued with the creation of a digital fashion show, which was the event called Tailoring the Future. And this event was enriched with many experiences for the public present in the real world. So first we created a digital fashion show in which the avatar models can parade wearing a capsule collection of garments decorated with prints from the archive that I mentioned before. There are 8 dresses with 2 textures each one for a total of 16 dresses There are the dresses that are sitting on the catwalk you see here. And at the same time, the real clothes were present in the physical space worn by mannequins. So the same clothes you see here were physically touchable and present during the event. Moreover, the 3D models of the clothes could be worn on a huge vertical screen in a try-on experience created by Isola Zoo. We called this experience the Magic Mirror, citing the magic mirror for the fairy tale Snow White. And finally, in an experience called Scan and Transform, also by Isola, visitors could scan a QR code with their mobile devices and observe in augmented reality the same clothes worn by the avatar models. This event coincided with the physical kickoff of the Fashion Metaverse Conference, and we hosted the AR experiences of 6 artists that were finalists of the Digital Fashion Open Call by Isola Zoo. And I suggest you to look later, when you have time, of course, for the recap video Tailoring the Future that Isola posted on LinkedIn. So you will have the opportunity to see the recordings of the augmented reality experiences presented by these 6 artists. The event also included a collective exhibition of the students of the Institute of Applied Arts and Design and a DJ set from our partner Creative Hub. And last but not least, of course, we also hosted an art exhibition by the international artist Boris Genchel. This exhibition was called Corpus Mentem Animum et Machina, and this was a generative AI exhibition that explored the balance between the physical, the mind, the spirit, and the digital. the artworks were physically located in the big vertical screens that are visible in the walk toward the entrance of the museum at my left hand. And there were also monitors with artworks inside the meeting room at the first floor of the building. So this was more or less what happened the past week, but we remained again on the border between physical and digital worlds, because at the same time the exhibition was hosted, and it is still hosted in another metaverse space, and I suggest to move to it within 5 minutes. We put a portal here. I'm moving close to the portal. This is the portal. So by using this portal, it's possible to teleport to another space where we put the exhibition of Paris Getch. So I suggest to leave just a few minutes if you want to visit this space, and then go to the next metaverse. Okay, if you would like to follow me, I will jump to the exhibition Metaverse. Please follow me if you like. Let's wait for other people. Okay, thank you. Welcome to this second space. This space is called TechStyle Hub Entrance. Here there are the links for many metaverses, many spaces of the partners of the project, and including the Red Eye and the Isola spaces. You can walk around the exhibition freely, of course. There are also artworks on the upper floor. The upper floor is accessible by using 2 elevators. If you follow me, I can show where are these elevators. The elevators are on these stairways. Okay, one on the left and one on the right. You have to push the F letter to move the elevator. When during your visit in the wild, I want to read how Boris Genchel describes his work. So I'm reading his word. In this collection, I explore the deep relationship between human flesh, technology, and nature. Through the lens of generative AI, I create works that transcend time, reflecting on both the past and the future, while remaining deeply connected to the sense of nature and human interaction. My art navigates the delicate balance between our physical selves, corpus, the restless and often tortured nature of the mind, mentum, and the divine force, animum. A presence that sometimes reveals itself in the ecstasy of a starry night, the touch of a beautiful flower, or surge of emotion that accompanies memories. This mind is not only shaped by struggles, but also by moments of transcendence and ecstasy, where the boundary between reality and imagination blurs. At the same time, my work embraces the ever-evolving presence of machine, macchina. The integration of AI allows me to not only express the beauty and complexity of the human experience, but also to highlight the powerful role that technology plays in shaping our future. This exhibition invites you to reflect on how these elements, our bodies, minds, spirits, and the machines we create, interact, evolve, and redefine what it means to be human in the age of digital transformation. These are the words of Boris Genchel. So just the last things, close to me here, in the center of the space, there is a portal. I'm here. This portal will teleport you directly to the red-eye space where Gloria Maria Cappelletti
got any questions, me and Gloria Maria are happy to discuss. And otherwise, of course, you can, follow us on Instagram, red.i.word, LinkedIn, X, everywhere. So even if you have any questions post the event, you can feel free to send us a cheeky DM. Sorry for my alarm.
Yes. Yeah. And then here there's like the portal. I don't know if we said that, here exactly I moved my avatar next to the portal that goes into the Red Eye Hub. And there you will find all the other portals to go and check out the other spaces. You will find them in 2022 also, like there was also an old metaverse. We created a space that it's not with a lot of like light and sun as the one we're in here, but it's dedicated to the darkness of the night. So you will find yourself in a night environment, but then we released specifically that metaverse on the day of St. Lucy, which is the darkest day of the year, but there is, this beautiful vision of the light coming in the darkness. And so for us, the light was like, the artworks of the artists would bring light inside the darkness of that space. And I think it's a beautiful space. You will enjoy going up and down all the layers. It's a very complex space to run around, but it's quite fascinating. And there is a lot of corners where some of the artworks are hiding. So you kind of have to look for them, look out for stuff. It's always a little bit of a surprise at every corner you turn. And again, there are like even a lot of other spaces. So I hope you will enjoy to run around and kind of experience all of them. There's some fashion shows. There's like a lot of stuff. Yeah. So I don't know if you Daniele wants to add something else. Otherwise, we can keep going.
I mean, what I want to add is just watch this space, watch our socials as April, May, June, and onwards are very exciting months. Don't worry, not only with the interviews that will come out, but also the special projects that we are working on. And yeah, we hope to keep inspire everyone in the space. And please don't hesitate to contact us if you are working on anything exciting that potentially we can co-create or, collaborate on socials, and do keep us in the loop.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. And then, okay, my very last word is for Isola. I'm so happy that Isola is like doing an amazing work, keeping the community tight. I love that. Thank you so much for like organizing these like precious moments. I'm very happy to be here, in the metaverse now with you guys. And, I can't wait for the next conference, the next moment we are going to be able to share digital virtual landscapes together. But really very much, thank you, Isola. You are doing an amazing job. You are really like keeping us together and talking to so many people about the digital space in the way we love to talk about and have experience of it. So you're doing really an amazing job. So thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much, Gloria Maria. Thank you, Danielle.
Bye. Thank you.
That was an amazing talk, and also a live activation of the spaces. I think was very meaningful that she spoke about how she put her grandmother's door opening up into something completely not real, but virtual. So we had a great day today, great speakers. Thankful to everyone who joined, and including those who joined early, and some of you who gave us extra time. Thank you so much. So we're reconvening on 21st of March, Friday at 6 p.m. CET. The website is fashionmetaverseconference.xyz, and the agenda is available there. We're next meeting next Friday on 21st at 6 p.m. CET. Thank you very much, and you've been a wonderful audience, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. The video and the pictures. Recently at the high schools. Also, thank you, Viva and Michael, for hosting the team event for co-hosting and being on the later. So for your section, I put up to start
A red-eye flight in the night, across uncertain darkness and arrive in the morning, greeted by the blinding sun, live. See, dream. To the metaverse and back. The metaverse is something that we at Red Eye are really interested in, so that we decided to dive into what A thinks about the metaverse, NFTs and Web3 because we are actually at the edge of this now, and no humans know what the metaverse is, except for Kathy Hackle, who is the godmother of the metaverse and one of the best Web3 speakers. The term metaverse is composed of the prefix meta, meaning outward, and stem verse, a backformation from universe. The term is commonly used to describe a future iteration of the internet consisting of persistent, shared, three-dimensional virtual spaces connected in an imagined virtual universe, in which each person could exist as digital avatars, interacting with each other as well as with the universe around them. A metaverse is a conjunction of several elements of technology, including virtual reality, augmented reality, and video, in which users live in a digital universe. In a metaverse, users navigate virtual worlds which simulate aspects of the physical world using technologies such as virtual reality, VR, augmented reality, AR, artificial intelligence, AI, social media, and digital currencies. In some ways, anyone with a computer or a smartphone can access the experience of a metaverse, like the digital world's Second Life. The virtual world of New York Times best-selling Ready Player One is perhaps the best example of what a metaverse could look like. Whether it is virtual reality, VR, augmented reality, AR, or just a screen, the promise of a metaverse is the possibility of greater overlapping between our digital and physical lives, whether it is wealth, socialization, productivity, shopping, and recreation. For instance, individuals are already working on selling parcels of virtual land in the metaverse. The metaverse's aim is to give individuals augmented reality experiences that, in many ways, can exceed physical reality in terms of experiences and opportunities. Cyber babies are likely to become commonplace over the next half-century. According to technologists, the metaverse will bring VR experiences to a new level, allowing users to fly around a virtual world, doing everything from buying land and hosting parties, and even getting married via a digital avatar. You may have heard lately about how the metaverse will bring about a new age in digital connectedness, VR experiences, and e-commerce. The metaverse is collective virtual shared space created through a confluence of virtually enhanced physical reality and physically persistent virtual spaces, including the sum total of all virtual worlds, augmented reality, and the internet. Because many massively multiplayer online games link millions of players sharing features to the metaverse, but provide access to non-persistent instances of virtual worlds shared only by a few dozen players, the concept of multiverse virtual worlds has been used to distinguish them from the metaverse. For universality to be a reality, no one company could or should control the metaverse, but the various experiences would have to be compatible. If, say, you wanted to be able to carry around photos taken in one space to another, or to use the same avatar to represent your virtual self in different places. Right now, most platforms have virtual identities, avatars, and inventories tied to just one platform, but the metaverse could let you build an avatar that you can carry with you anywhere, the way you might copy a profile picture from one social network to the next. A metaverse would also incorporate custom avatars and digital assets of your own that will probably be recorded in a blockchain. People can interact with the metaverse by using technologies like VR and augmented reality, AR. Instead of looking at a screen as you do now, in a metaverse, you would be able to walk around in all of your experiences on the internet, like shopping, meeting friends and family, going to concerts, or even getting your official paperwork done. Advocates for the metaverse envision their users working, playing games, and keeping in touch with friends via everything from concerts, conferences, and virtual trips across the globe. Shared standards and protocols bringing together different virtual worlds and augmented realities in one open metaverse can help people work together and reduce duplicate efforts. Universal interoperability would allow users to exchange goods and services within a metaverse just as quickly as they do hand-to-hand within the physical world. Long story short, the general idea is that a metaverse would be an ever-expanding virtual world. AI-generated text, edited by Gloria Maria Capoletti, Editor-in-Chief, Red-Eye. A red-eye flight in the night, across uncertain darkness and arrive in the morning, greeted by the blinding sun, live. See, dream. To the metaverse and back. The metaverse is something that we at Red Eye are really interested in, so that we decided to dive into what AI thinks about the metaverse, NFTs and Web3 because we are actually at the edge of this now, and no humans know what the metaverse is, except for Kathy Hackle, who is the godmother of the metaverse and one of the best Web3 speakers. The term metaverse is composed of the prefix meta, meaning outward, and stem verse, a backrommation from universe. The term is commonly used to describe a future iteration of the internet consisting of persistent, shared, three-dimensional virtual spaces connected in an imagined virtual universe, in which each person could exist as digital avatars, interacting with each other as well as with the universe around them. A metaverse is a conjunction of several elements of technology, including virtual reality, augmented reality, and video, in which users live in a digital universe. In a metaverse, users navigate virtual worlds which simulate aspects of the physical world using technologies such as virtual reality, VR, augmented reality, AR, artificial intelligence, AI, social media, and digital currencies. In some ways, anyone with a computer or a smartphone can access the experience of a metaverse, like the digital world Second Life. The virtual world of New York Times best-selling Ready Player One is perhaps the best example of what a metaverse could look like. Whether it is virtual reality, VR, augmented reality, AR, or just a screen, the promise of a metaverse is the possibility of greater overlapping between our digital and physical lives, whether it is wealth, socialization, productivity, shopping, and recreation. For instance, individuals are already working on selling parcels of virtual land in the metaverse. The metaverse's aim is to give individuals augmented reality experiences that, in many ways, can exceed physical reality in terms of experiences and opportunities. Cyber babies are likely to become commonplace over the next half-century. According to technologists, the metaverse will bring VR experiences to a new level, allowing users to fly around a virtual world, doing everything from buying land and hosting parties, and even getting married via a digital avatar. You may have heard lately about how the metaverse will bring about a new age in digital connectedness, VR experiences, and e-commerce. The metaverse is collective virtual shared space created through a confluence of virtually enhanced physical reality and physically persistent virtual spaces, including the sum total of all virtual worlds, augmented reality, and the internet. Because many massively multiplayer online games link millions of players sharing features to the metaverse, but provide access to non-persistent instances of virtual worlds shared only by a few dozen players, the concept of multiverse virtual worlds has been used to distinguish them from the metaverse. For universality to be a reality, no one company could or should control the metaverse, but the various experiences would have to be compatible. If, say, you wanted to be able to carry around photos taken in one space to another, or to use the same avatar to represent your virtual self in different places. Right now, most platforms have virtual identities, avatars, and inventories tied to just one platform, but the metaverse could let you build an avatar that you can carry with you anywhere, the way you might copy a profile picture from one social network to the next. A metaverse would also incorporate custom avatars and digital assets of your own that will probably be recorded in a blockchain. People can interact with the metaverse by using technologies like VR and augmented reality, AR. Instead of looking at a screen as you do now, in a metaverse, you would be able to walk around in all of your experiences on the internet, like shopping, meeting friends and family, going to concerts, or even getting your official paperwork done. Advocates for the metaverse envision their users working, playing games, and keeping in touch with friends via everything from concerts, conferences, and virtual trips across the globe. Shared standards and protocols bringing together different virtual worlds and augmented realities in one open metaverse can help people work together and reduce duplicate efforts. Universal interoperability would allow users to exchange goods and services within a metaverse just as quickly as they do hand-to-hand within the physical world. Long story short, the general idea is that a metaverse would be an ever-expanding virtual world. AI-generated text, edited by Gloria Maria Capoletti, Editor-in-Chief, Red-Eye. A red-eye flight in the night, across uncertain darkness and arrive in the morning, greeted by the blinding sun, live. See, dream. To the metaverse and back. The metaverse is something that we at Red Eye are really interested in, so that we decided to dive into what AI thinks about the metaverse, NFTs and Web3 because we are actually at the edge of this now, and no humans know what the metaverse is, except for Kathy Hackle, who is the godmother of the metaverse and one of the best Web3 speakers. The term metaverse is composed of the prefix meta, meaning outward, and stem verse, a backformation from universe. The term is commonly used to describe a future iteration of the internet consisting of persistent, shared, three-dimensional virtual spaces connected in an imagined virtual universe, in which each person could exist as digital avatars, interacting with each other as well as with the universe around them. A metaverse is a conjunction of several elements of technology, including virtual reality, augmented reality, and video, in which users live in a digital universe. In a metaverse, users navigate virtual worlds which simulate aspects of the physical world using technologies such as virtual reality, VR, augmented reality, AR, artificial intelligence, AI, social media, and digital currencies. In some ways, anyone with a computer. P5, selected by Red Eye.
And a crowd that is going to be blockbuster. Well, collaboration is very similar to what it was with Andy Warhol, who was bringing people in from the creative world, from the fashion world, from the art world, from the music world, from the celebrity world. So we have an array of people on and off our runway, some in the front row of the show, some walking, and our ad campaign is going to feature all of the, I would say, creatives that we've hand-chosen to be in our campaign.
both brands coming together. We have the real American archetype, kind of our London sensibility, so they come out really well, and I think it really does show both brands in a great light.
I love the creative twist Richard put on everything, and I think that it elevates our brand to a new level, and I think it shows that we're moving forward with new, fresh ideas. It's really exciting to me. I mean, I love every single piece in the collection.
I think, like Tommy said, it's an unexpected collaboration, and seeing two worlds collide, it's really that kind of Andy Warhol factory idea of bringing different creatives from all around the world to one place. I think from watching New York from across the pond, now seeing it in this really iconic setting, it's almost like a most Americana thing